Good morning, everyone. Today's the 7th of January. This is Brad Matheny. It's early in the morning out here in California. We're looking at some high winds out here in Southern Cal over the next couple of days. So, no real issue of a fire, hopefully. Everything around us seems to have burned over the last 3 or 4 years. But the high winds are saying the power could go out. The way California deals with it is they just shut down the power instead of having these power lines spark a problem. But whatever, I'll deal with it. That means maybe I'll end up going golfing or something, try to work something out. So today we're looking at a counter trend breakaway. So yesterday's move was quite impressive, actually. Big upward move in the morning, really, really very strong, especially after this Friday move. And then we railed back down into these lows, right into this apex that I had highlighted, this yellow line apex. I also set up the buy and low zones, let's call them the breakaway zones. And those were set right here at these dark purple levels. So I will carry this out a little bit and carry this out. These were kind of the A and B levels. Okay. Above this level, we stay bullish. Below this level, we could be looking at a big breakdown. We had this rollover yesterday, and the markets are up a little bit right now, 0.12%. S&P. Now, this is early. It is 4:40 in the morning in California. We still have 2 hours to go before the market opens. But again, we're moving into this counter trend breakaway, and trending right now is bearish. So, there's a pretty good interpretation here for, let me get rid of these lines, for a counter trend breakaway to open in this area and potentially rally on up. And that is because we are looking at a counter trend breakaway now. So yesterday we were in a trending breakaway, which again, we were in a kind of a rally phase, and it broke up in a way, but it was an inside breakaway, which didn't actually materialize. So you can see right here. Now we're looking at this counter trend breakaway moving into the rally phase on Wednesday. Remember, markets should be closed on Thursday in honor of President Carter. And we are going to be moving into a rally phase on Saturday or Friday, carrying into a rally on Saturday, which means the momentum will likely carry into the weekend and maybe into Monday with a inside breakaway bar again. And personally, I feel the markets are looking at a pretty solid rally attempt. I think we're looking at a pretty good move from kind of down in this area all the way up into potentially the 614, 615 area, right around the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and moving kind of into a double topping formation. So, I'm looking for, and now I've highlighted this area here around 614, 615, right over in this area where a major top is likely to happen. And I want you to be aware that, you've got a pretty good little move up here, possibly getting to new all time highs again, possibly pushing sectors quite a bit higher, and then moving into potentially a rotation back to the downside after or nearer after the inauguration. So I think we're looking at some pretty, solid upward trending off of this bottom zone that's set up back over here. Today, I would suggest that we run with the same levels, as far as a breakdown. We're going to be trading right in that same range, right in this area. So you'd be looking at 593.65 is the low as far as a potential B breakdown mode. And as long as we stay above 595.70, which we are right now, we're at 596.27. We're looking at bullish trending. This is really kind of the A or B mode right over here. And now, like I said, long term, I think, well, intermediate term, I'm looking to get through this big rally phase here and into next week, which I think will be a continuation of the rally phase, looking to potentially get up into this, 610, 612, maybe even 618 area, and before we actually stall out. I think the recovery rally here could be impressive over the next week or two. So QQQ kind of doing the same thing. If I were to highlight where we're at with this apex and try to draw some protective zones, you can see I've drawn this and that and that, a bunch of lines up here. I'll leave those for now, get rid of that with the A or B mode here. So, you can see we've come down, we've broken down, we've kind of stayed in this consolidation phase, on an excess phase peak pattern. You can see the little excess phase peak pattern here breaking downward into this broad consolidation phase. And now it may not actually move down to that last phase, but you can see here we kind of are tightening into this flag. I think that, as we reach this apex, which is really going to be today and tomorrow, I think we're looking at a pretty big rally. A, B, C, deep D coming up to E here. Yeah, we should rally back out of this. And we're reaching this apex. We have our zones. Again, let's pick our zones here at around this level and this level below the apex. So you've got basically a low at 520.65 would be our B mode, and we have a high at 522.93. Call it 523 as our breakaway mode. We're at 524.65. We're in a buy zone through this apex because of our A, B, C, D, E. This is a very deep low that retested this move down here at the bottom, rejected and came back up. We're right here near this apex. So we could get a little volatility through here before attempting to move higher. But again, I think that's going to be, it's going to be short lived because we're moving into this big rally phase. And I really believe that the SPY and the QQQ through this rally phase prior to Trump's inauguration, unless something crazy happens, are going to want to melt upward into this topping formation up over here. And really, when we get down to the topping formation, we're looking at this kind of this zone here or this zone here potentially as a top. So that puts us right at new all-time highs here around 541 or a bit higher up into the 550 area on the QQQ. So could be very solid. Remember, you want to watch this, 521 roughly. Let me get up there. Yeah, call it 520.65 as kind of a breakdown level. We get below this 523, then be a little cautious. We could still rally back out of it. That's right at the apex area. But the B level, remember, I'm trying to give you A or B scenarios. So I believe we rally on up today. I believe that's the most logical outcome. Try to find a different color for you. But I believe a breakdown below this lower level would be indicative of a downward trend. So we want to watch that 520.66 area and plan for kind of a move back up into these new all-time high areas, at least maybe 520, 532, 534, something like that. But I think we're going to new all-time highs. So let's go over to gold and silver. Gold and silver are, there we go. Looking at a rally phase today. We're in accumulation, an expanding trend. This is a gold 1 hour chart on the left, moving into past that apex that I drew yesterday and into a very nice pre-market rally phase here. So I've been telling you guys that I think gold is really trying to make an attempt back up into this 2720, 2780 area. And what we're going to see here is as we move into this, consolidation sideways phase, we're going to see if we can get up into this 2710, 2720 area, and then possibly up into this 2780 area. It's really going to depend on, how gold is interpreted, because remember, these were the last highs, previous highs. So we're at a point right now where we've consolidated, we've reached this apex level, and is this going to be the move today, or is it going to be more out here towards January 12th and 15th? Is it going to be here? I'm thinking that we're going to probably make a move up into this 2710, 2720, consolidate, and then maybe get up into this area by the 15th or so. I think it's a pretty good move for gold overall. So I get rid of this, get rid of this. To me, that seems extremely logical. Okay, I'll leave the rest of those. As we reach this apex, we should be attempting to break this apex move. And like I said, the fear level that's going to come in with President Trump taking office in just a few weeks, folks, is probably going to send metal skyrocketing. So here's silver. Let's go back to 2 hour, just like I did with gold. Silver has a very deep low set up here. Very good chance we're going to see this rally move up into the 3180, 32 area over here. Remember, we're very close to this apex area, but we still have to go out till January 22nd, which is closer to the inauguration. So, and given the fact that we're rolling through this, would not be too surprised to see silver move up into this area, consolidate a bit, and then try to make a move up. So, we're looking at silver trying to break this recent high right over here, which is just under 31 bucks. And we're getting a pretty solid move. But I think 3140, 3150, 3160, kind of this area, is very likely to be a top for silver, rolling back into this apex zone here before we get a breakout move. So, we have this fairly solid apex zone right here, which again acts kind of as a magnet. So if we get up above this level, into the 3175, 3160, $32 area, more than likely we're going to come back down to this magnet area. And same thing might happen back over here for gold. If we get up over here at 27, 2710, we may see a bit of a blip back down here before we get the next move up. That's because this apex area is acting as major support, and kind of like a magnet. You do typically get quite a bit of volatility around these apex zones, okay, before some type of a trend takes off. So prepare for volatility as we move into this area. Potentially a washout move up here and then higher, or potentially a washout move down here, and then I think we're going to move higher either way. So again, if I were to tell you today for gold and silver where the A and B markers are, I'd probably say that anything above, keep active. Anything above, I would call it 30, 35 as a B marker. And I'll copy this. and call it 3060. So anything above 3060 is generally bullish for the upside. Anything down here below 3035 would be to the downside. I'll make this slightly different color. And so again, we're looking for a pretty solid move in the markets. And if I come over here and try to do the same thing, I would say that, see, we're at 2662. So probably 2637 as the B marker and 26, probably 52 as the A marker. What that means is that if we stay above the A marker, which is this green line here, 2651, we're generally bullish. If we get below this 2637, we're generally bearish. And that gives you your A and B marker. Same thing here. 3060 on the bullish side and 3035 or 33 on the lower side would be our breakdown mode. And of course, you can come out here and reference this, pause the videos, write down the numbers if you like, and we'll go from there. Okay, next we're going to go to Bitcoin. 100,000 again. Let everything load. Moved right up into that zone that I talked about yesterday, that apexing zone right here where everything overlaps. This is where the real crud hits the fan, so to say. And at this point, we run into this kind of a dual zone here off of this consolidation phase. Still below the ultimate high way up here at 108, 347. I would be very concerned that this is going to be a major major rejection point. And so again, I would urge you guys to be very concerned that out in this area, which we just got into, we're going to end up getting a major rejection point potentially, and potentially rolling downward into this zone. So again, I think the most important thing that we would want to look at, it would be this lower level right here, 99,500. I'll mark it right here, 99,500. As long as we stay above that level, we're going to probably see some sort of a moderate upward potential trend. And as long as if we get below that level, we could see the markets move all the way back down to 92. So what do I predict for Bitcoin? I see Bitcoin really taking off into 2025. But, we do have to get out of this channel. I've talked to you about this before. I see the excess phase peak pattern coming all the way down, big, broad excess phase peak. It's actually multiple. I've gone through it before. We have a little one here that broke down into consolidation that reached an ultimate low here. We have a bigger one that rolled down into consolidation through this channel. You can see the consolidation right here. So it's obvious that we're getting into consolidation. We're building support. But then you've got an even bigger, broader excess phase peak that I've drawn here with this rectangle, and then a secondary one built off of this low that are aligning right over here. And now, why is that so important? Well, you're getting a coalescence of excess phase peak pattern flagging formations reaching this apex. This is where we're going to run into, so in my opinion, some real price volatility. And we're either going to, break out and really see some sort of a rally phase up on out of this, or we are going to break down and we are going to get a big, broad pullback down into this area. So, given where we're at, and given the fact that we are in this bullish trend until we break this level, remember this 99,000 and I will draw it again. 99,500 level is kind of my line in the sand. As long as we're above that level, I think we continue to try to push higher. If we rotate up this level, especially with as volatile as Bitcoin can be, if we rotate and stay above 99,500, we could just be consolidating before making a big move. But ultimately, like I said, we're bullish right now. In this trend, the flagging trend, we're generally bullish until we break down. So that 99,500 level, that is my breakdown level. I think that's the level that we have to see Bitcoin break down below in order to potentially target these much deeper lows way down here, 72, 73,000. If we cannot break below 99,500, then it just is not going to happen. Okay, so I've gone kind of through everything here. We're going to see how the winds pick up today. Hopefully not that bad. And like I said, let's see how the markets do today. Looking for a bit of a rally in the SPY and the QQQ, and particularly gold and silver. Would love to see a nice rally over here in gold and silver. I mean, it would make my day, guys. I like metals, and I like the SPY as well. 1 hour, spread this out. Yeah, see, this is what I like. Let it rip. All right, come back over here. Nice. Let it rip. I want to see gold and silver rip rally up into proper valuation. Like I've been telling you guys before, I don't see any reason why gold and silver were down where they were. I think it was just a manipulation in the markets because, I mean, the fear level is still there. The economy is still in the same condition it was 2-3 months ago when gold was higher. Nothing really reflected a 15 to 20% drop in metals other than manipulation of the metals markets. So let's see what happens here. Gold's about ready to break out of this pennant formation here. Really already has kind of. So you can see we're moving into this kind of mode. Looks really solid. I mean, looks good for a rally. When gold and silver are rallying like this, dollar's probably moving a little bit downward, but this is a good, solid move for metals to the upside. Love to see this happen. Okay, guys, I want to go back to the SPY here, and remember to get some. Stay safe. Remember, 2025 is just starting. I want you to be aware that we want to play efficiently. Okay. Trading is all about trying to grab profits efficiently. It's not about trying to swing for the fences, home runs every trade. You're not going to get them. Remember, you want to just take your targets, book your profits, move on to the next trade. In fact, a lot of people I talk to every day, my subscribers and such, they're trying to basically get in, get their money, get their profits, and get out by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock noon Eastern time. So you can do it too. I mean, it's just a matter, imagine if you could make 10, 15, 20, 30% or more on options in and out of the market in the first 3 or 4 hours of the day, and then be done. Maybe come back and take a look at the last couple hours, see if there's anything you want to do. That's it. And if you can do that consistently every day, you can turn $1,000 account into a $50, $60, $80,000 account, in 6-7 months. So it's more than capable of being done. It just takes some effort, some training, and some skill. Okay? Talk to you soon, guys.